Hi, welcome back to my channel. I am Lovely and this is The Lovely Life. It's been long that I've shot for a video for this channel. It's mainly because I myself was going through some tough times. I had an emergency at home. I actually lost my father, which was again a huge spiritual lesson for me. One, because it was quick. None of us were prepared, were ready for it, and also the way it happened. He actually left us for the second time, I must say. My mom and dad were separated for quite some time. I mean, it's been many years now. And we've had a pretty difficult relationship with him. And basically he was somebody who was not that receptive of love, I must say. But yes, I loved him a lot. We did, me and my sister. And he was diagnosed with cancer, which again is something which we came to know very recently, and within days he left us forever. I have been somebody whose work is all about healing people or bringing healing through various ways to people who are dealing with grief. But when I had a first-hand experience of grief myself, trust me, it wasn't easy. It wasn't something I was ready for, even after having so much knowledge about the afterlife through my guide, through other channeling friends that I have, channelers who I have as friends, and the community I am into, and all the learnings that I have been getting, all the teachings from my spirit guides. But still, it wasn't easy. I'm so used to telling things to people, to my clients in my sessions, that your father is here, he's giving you a hug, and he wants you to know that he's at peace and he loves you. Your mother is kissing you right now, and things like that. But when that happened with me, losing a loved one, nothing makes sense. It doesn't make sense, and it's still surreal for me. I still feel that I'll get a call from my dad and maybe he'll pick up a fight with me on something and things like that. So you are never ready for grief. Actually, people might think that they know grief when they have seen somebody lose a loved one, but no, that's not the case. And it's coming from somebody whose work surrounds people, surrounds around people who deal with grief, who have lost a loved one, and they want to connect to the people, the loved ones on the other side. So yes, that's why I was not doing any of my YouTube videos or anything. I must say I was numb, and now I know that things have gotten better. I do talk to my dad on a regular basis, and things are easier. The communication is pretty strong and beautiful. There's no judgment here, unlike before. But I still miss his hugs and kisses, and I know that will be there with all of us. That will stay. But anyway, today I'm here to channel Mother Gaia, and I had asked for questions for all of my beautiful viewers in a short video, and today I will be taking all those questions which I can for Mother Gaia, and let's see what she's got. So I will be looking into my laptop, which is on the side. So that's what I'm doing if I'm looking on the side. See, I have my laptop and I have all the questions written down, which makes it convenient for me. So before we move on to the questions, I will just bring her in and see how her energy is. Basically, that's what I do always. Let me see what she's like. The first thing that I saw is beautiful black hair. No offense to people who have light colored hair, but that's what she's giving me. Maybe that's what I am meant to see. So she's showing me beautiful long black hair, almost like how the hair of Moana looks like, but longer and more black, wavy and curly. Beautiful black hair, which is almost, she's kept it on in above her shoulders and the front. Very pleasant looking, and she's coming forward like a woman. Very feminine energy. Her face has a very sweet, beautiful natural smile, and I'm saying natural because it's almost like she's actually not smiling, but her face has that gentle smile, and it's almost like effortless is the word, and she's very beautiful. Let me see what else she's got. And wow, she's saying namaste to all of you, and she's very happy to be here, and she says she's happy to answer, very much ready to answer all our questions. And I'm also seeing Erik, which I forgot to mention today, I know. So he's like, yeah, I'm here. So he'll be, as always, he'll be helping me with receiving answers, and he'll be chiming in when he has something to tell us about whatever we are talking about. So yeah, let's go with the questions. Let me see who we have at first. Okay, so there's a question from Soumya. I'm just saying the first names for convenience. My first question is about the inner earth, or Agartha. I hope I'm not pronouncing it wrongly. Would Mother Gaia herself like to tell us something about Agartha, or the inner earth? And she also asks, are the dwellers of Agartha her children too, similar to us, the surface dwellers? Wow. Let me see what I'm getting. Yes, she is giving me a positive sign that there is an inner earth, and yes, there are beings out there. Wow. She tells me the inner earth is similar to our earth, like where we are, on the surface. We live on the surface. But she says the biodiversity is simpler and smaller in terms of the number of species. And she says we have a gentler way of life. That's what she's giving me. What else she was asking? Soumya asks, are the dwellers of Agartha her children too? Yes. Similar to us, the surface dwellers. No, they aren't similar. And she's making me feel like, which actually makes sense, there are more species of beings like insects and reptiles. But she's also showing me humanoids or human-like dwellers. Wow. And Erik says that they have a very different kind of their lungs and the body and basically the organs are made in a very different way, so that they can survive inside earth, if that makes sense. But yes, because that's what I was thinking suddenly when they were giving me that, well, is there air there, is there oxygen? So Erik makes me feel that yes, there is air that they breathe, but the mix, the oxygen and other gases, the proportion is very different than how we have. And yeah, we have a lot of pollutants too. Erik is smiling and almost making fun of it. Yes, so that's what we got, which is pretty interesting. Okay, she has another question. My second question is about how can we express our love towards her and help her in this great transitional period, making this metaphorical birthing of a new age easy for her. How can we make it easy for her? Wow, as simple as that, by going with the flow. That's what she gave me, and she is not giving me anything else, just by going with the flow and not trying to resist the flow. Yeah. Okay, next we have a question from Vidya. In certain meditations, such as grounding meditations, the center of the earth is described as the crystalline core. Is this true? Can she please describe the core of the earth? Thank you. Yes, she says the core of the earth can also be called crystalline core because of the abundance of crystals out there. It's almost the surface there, if that makes sense, is actually made up of a lot of crystals. Unlike, we don't see so many crystals out in the open. So yes, that's why it's called the crystalline core. So yes, it's true. What was that again? Can she please describe the core of the earth? Yes, she's going more on the topic of crystals. She's showing me blue and white crystals, so many of them, and pink. Okay, so this is what she's giving me. So if you have to talk, and yes, there is a surface and there is an atmosphere in the core. The vegetation is very different. There's not much green out there. Maybe because of the quality of air, and obviously, and Erik says obviously there's no sun, so there's not much green because the chlorophyll is not required and is not made at the same time. So there are trees and vegetation, but even the colors of the leaves, that's what they're showing me. It's mostly pink and orange and white and all those. So, but it's beautiful. They're showing me very beautiful. If you could see a flower bed, but it's almost like if there are trees with only flowers and very, very scarce leaves. So that's how it's looking. Yeah, that's what they're showing me. So for now, that's what they are giving me about the core of the earth. And I think we touched on how the atmosphere is in the earlier question that we did from Soumya. Yeah, so let me move on to the next one. Shweta wants to ask, can you ask if she is the divine feminine? Yes, you can say that, she says. So why she said so is she gives me like there's more to the divine feminine. Divine feminine is not just Gaia. It's more. It's the energy of. It's almost like the fraction of the feminine fraction of the universe. Which encompasses our emotions and creativity. That's something very important when we talk about divine feminine. Productivity, because yes, she's mentioning reproduction of any kind. Creation comes from that. So the answer would be yes, and there's more. She's not just the divine feminine. There's more to the divine feminine than her. Okay, next question is from Lasya. I've heard that each blood type has the gene of unique star beings, and that there is one blood type which is native to earth. Wow, how much of that is true? So there's more, but I'll just stick to this. Let me just repeat the question again. I've heard that each blood type has the gene of a unique star beings, and that there is one blood type which is native to earth. Yes. If that is true, is there a way we could use that to grow spiritually? Not really, she says, and this is where Erik is coming in. He immediately gave me, so this the blood type has not much to do with spirituality, but yes, if in future, and he's making me he's very positive about it. If we figure out something about what we just heard in the question about the specific blood type that we have, like earth beings, so we can do much about it medically. The medical know-how, could use that for a lot of things, yes, but not exactly spiritually, for the body. Okay, so Lasya has another question. I don't have the right word for this, so I would call them tiers. That is TIERS, layers. Are there really tiers inside the earth where different beings live, such as Agarthans, mermaids, elves, etc.? And of course, humans, like us, live on the surface tier. Yes. Wow. And Erik says the list is longer than that. Just not Agarthans, mermaids, and elves. These are just the ones that humans have figured out. Yeah. For some reason, he's also mentioning Yeti, Bigfoot, which I thought, who lives in another dimension. But again, so this is me. This is my human mind coming. So are dimensions similar to the tiers of Earth? You can say that. Yeah, that's what he's giving me for now. Alright, next question is by Sampath. He wants to know, please ask about global warming and what can we do? How do I contribute daily as an individual? Can trees feel pain? Do they hear us? Okay, let me just go with the first one. Please ask about global warming and what can we do? Erik is laughing at it, not because the question is silly, because he's laughing at the thought that there are still people out there who are in denial and think that there is nothing, global warming does not exist. Just surprising and ridiculous at the same time. What can we do? How do I contribute daily as an individual? Wow. You know what Erik's got here? He says, by doing your shit gently. What does that actually mean? He means that there is, so here, and this is something even Gaia is, she's in agreement to that. So she wants Erik to speak about this. She's almost listening. Yeah. So, by doing your shit gently, that means there's a gentle way of doing everything on this earth, and that includes eating meat, which makes sense. So there are there are free range eggs. I don't know how exactly gentle are they exactly. Erik says yes, to a certain extent. So everything that we do on a regular basis in a day has a gentler way of doing. So that's the choice we have to make. Use the gentler way of living. Yeah. Next question is again by Sampath. Can trees feel pain? Oh, yes, of course, right? Yes, they do. That's Gaia. Do they hear us? Yes. By planting more trees, can the planet be saved from global warming? Yes, of course, but that's not the only thing required. There are more things which we know. Okay, so that's all from Sampath. Next is the question from Nirvana. Till how long will she bear the underworld upon her back? She smiles as she's listening to that question, and she's almost mentioning it's an unending cycle of birth and death, she says. So there is no linear time, so she cannot answer clearly on for how long until the universe is there. Okay, so next question is from Creative. Tell us about 5D Earth, when and how this ascension will happen. Yeah, so that's her first question. She has more. Okay, tell us about the 5D Earth. Yeah, so the 5D Earth won't be like entirely different, entirely different, and you will not exactly feel the change, like, you know, suddenly you're waking up in 5D Earth and everything looks different. No, that's not gonna happen. But you will feel the vibrational shift, as in we will be on a higher plane. Yes, there will be more awakenings, which can be good and bad. There will be more spiritual stuff happening, more people coming out of their human mind and coming out of their rigid space and opening up to the fact that there is more to human life on earth and more. So yes, that's what's going to happen on 5D Earth. So you will feel the difference. More people taking up natural ways of living. That includes natural healing modalities, natural ways of living, which is actually happening over, you know, recent years. There's more veganism happening. Yeah. So yes, that's the basic difference that you will be seeing. But there can also be okay, so here Gaia is mentioning there could also be some natural disasters, because obviously when there is a new shift, a major shift happening, there's obviously an end to something. You know, a cycle has to end. So there will be beings leaving the earth plane, which would be sad for the families, but again, it's a spiritual contract. Yeah. Okay, what was the next question by Creative? When and how were we created? So yeah, in case if we have to mention in terms of human years, millions and trillions of years ago, if we mention in human terms. But she also makes me feel it was almost like an ongoing process, like, you know, we are not the first beings out here. So it was like right now, me speaking to you and the one who asked me the question, that's Creative, it's like we are just part of the one cycle that's right now. Yeah, that's what I'm getting. In Channeling Erik, this must be for you. In Channeling Erik, we were told that it was an experiment by higher dimensional beings. That's how we were created. Okay. So he says yes and no. He says yes, it was an experiment for the loss of a better word, but not by higher dimensional beings. It was an experiment by Source, because Source wanted to experience the stuff that we experience. He wanted to experience every little feeling, including the bad ones that we do experience on this physical human life. So he says it was the Source's idea. That's how we were created. Okay, there's another one. Last year there was a devastating fire in Australian forests, in which many animals were killed. Why so many innocent animals were killed? If that helps, they are at a better place now. Erik makes me feel they've got greens to eat, he says, and Mother Gaia is explaining how it was absolutely contractual and also needed, so that there is a certain amount of attention that is brought into the reason what caused the fires, which I, as lovely, do not know. So maybe you can do some research what exactly caused the Australian forest fires. Last but not the least, it's a question from my wonderful sister Murphy. What is that one practice that she can do on a regular basis, on a daily basis, to help the planet Earth? Number one, this is Erik coming for you, Murphy. Breathe. Breathe as in breathe relaxfully, calmly. What it does is, as we had covered in another question when we answered that, is when you are breathing and you are relaxed, you are in the flow and not resisting it, which Mother Gaia mentioned that, you know, what you can do for the planet is not resist the flow of things. Number two, which is coming from Mother Gaia. Okay, so yeah, she's talking about the choices that we make on a daily basis. Choose from the heart, which I know you know, but yes, when we choose from the heart, we know. And again, Erik is chiming in with, you know, what he mentioned about the gentler way of living, the gentler way of doing things. So when we use our heart energy, we open our heart. So every single decision that we are taking, we are not calculating. So yes, breathe and use your heart. That's the message and answer from Mother Gaia and Erik. So that's all for today, guys. I hope I could take as many questions as possible. And I'm so thankful to all of you for sending in such beautiful questions for Mother Earth. And let me see if she's got some beautiful message before we close. Oh wow, she wants me to channel light language for all her children. Wonderful. And she's mentioning something else. Okay, wow. So I do not do this often, but I love watching other people do, and I've been asking my guides. Thank you Erik, for sending in that gift to me. So what they're talking about is using hands while channeling light language. I've seen a lot of light language healers do that, and it's just another way of channeling. It doesn't matter, one is not better. I mean, there's toning. I write light language, so it doesn't matter, the meaning doesn't change, but I personally found it very beautiful and I was almost drawn to that. So she wants all of you who's watching us right now to open your heart up to receive this light language, and this would help you be in alignment with what Mother Gaia needs right now. So you will be taking your decisions the gentler way, as mentioned by Erik. So yeah, here we go. I'll be just taking a few deep breaths. You can also set a specific intention before receiving. If you need a healing of, if you're dealing with some particular issue, physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, you can ask for the healing.
Kikaratu tuku makatana tata karana tabakatan tu kurugutu. Kikanta mayara kutu hururu kutu batana katana. Kurkutu kanakata mukutu kanakara kata karana tapu takata maka. Kikarona tata kiama kanakata kamiana tata kata kama katakana sakata kamu korokoto kumbo koratu kuwa kanaka makataka. kurukutu ama kata kanata tanata kama karana tuku arana ka kintu kuhu ya da kama kata kuha kama kata kuhu kutu karana kene kotopon kutu kitu kurutu kutu mikata kama kana kaya kata kama kata karana kata kanta kuha hama kata kenta kuno kata makata kurukutu
That was pretty intense. My throat is almost heavy. This was cool. This is another light language which I have never channeled. I've heard and wondered how beautiful this light language is, and I would like to share that this was one of, when I was just doing my research, when I was not a channeler like professionally, when I was not doing this was something that I had seen on maybe on Discovery or something, and they had mentioned that it was from an alien race, and there was this woman who used to channel this, and I was simply amazed. And thank you so much, Mother Gaia and Erik. I'm really thankful for giving this gift to me and choosing me to send this out there. And I also felt like the beings from the core of the earth, for some reason, because I'm seeing smaller beings, like very tiny beings. I don't know if maybe you can do some research, and please put in the comments if you find something more about the Agarthans, if I'm not wrong, or there could be more names, but the beings from the core of the earth. I could see small, tiny beings sending love to all of you, and this was basically from them to all the dwellers of Mother Earth, the surface dwellers and more. This was pretty amazing, guys. Thank you so much for listening to this, and before you go, I'll just quickly remind you all to subscribe to my channel and support me for making more such interesting videos for all of you. And if you liked what content I brought in today, do like the video. Until next time, bye bye.